Hello friends, and welcome to the part 2 of this video where we shall be setting our SMTP settings on our Supabase project. You can see right here within the SMTP settings, we already have the sender email as support@ldix.store. We have the sender name, we have the host, the port number, and all the settings that are required to connect our SMTP settings right here on Supabase. And these settings are coming from our Namecheap platform. So right here, Namecheap provides us with the domain name, and my domain is ldix.store. And based on that domain, we're able to create a custom email, which is support@ldix.store. And then we're able to connect support@ldix.store on our Supabase project. And we even have the mailbox for our email address. So right here is the inbox. So when users reply to our mails, we can get the emails right here. So without further ado, let's get right in. This is my VS Code, and let me quickly show you the files that we have, the file structure from the first part of the video. So we have this auth group and the tabs, and the tabs has the index, explorer, and layout. And then we have the root layout right here. We also have within the auth another layout to register the files within the auth route, which are the token confirmation, which is a dynamic route, and the signin.tsx and signup.tsx. Now going to the signup.tsx, we try to sign the user up using email and password. So we're using the signup API from Supabase and providing the email and password to the API and try to sign the user up. And for the sign in, we're also going to sign the user in. We've not fleshed out the function to sign the user in. I'm going to be doing that in a moment. And then this token confirmation is the page that will be shown for the user to authenticate his OTP, the token that will be sent to the mail. Now, if we go to the index within the tab, this is supposed to be the home page. But then if there is no session or user signed into the application, they will want to render the sign up page, which is this one right here from the auth. We want to render this right here. Otherwise, if the user is signing or signed up already into the application, then we want to render this page instead. So this is the basic thing we did in the first part of the video. Now, if we go to the sign up, where we're trying to sign up the user, let's scroll down a bit, and here after signing the user, if there's any error, we want to return the error and alert with the error. Otherwise, if there is no session, it means the user should go to that token confirmation page to confirm the token. So in fact, right here, I'm going to remove the token. I think in real world application, this alert is not usually necessary. So we just return router that replace the email. So that means we send the user to the token confirmation. It can be anything depending on what email the user is using to sign up. So we want to send that email. You can see the email is coming from state right here. So whatever email the user provides, so we send that email, and it's taken right here as token confirmation. And then we catch that email right here, and then we use it and pass it right here as the email to this verify OTP API from Supabase, which will help us to verify the token to make sure it was the token that was sent to that particular email. And then after verification, the user will be signed in automatically into the application. So that's how it's going to work. And I'm going to save this sign up. Yep. And then what I'm going to do is open up the terminal and run this application. So I'm going to start by saying npm start and -c to clear out everything that must have been in the cache. And yes, our application is on localhost 8081, and I'm going to press I on my keyboard to run it on the simulator. I'm using an iOS simulator, so I'm going to put everything side by side, my VS Code side by side with the simulator. So now we're seeing this page on home because we're not signed up or signed in into the application. And of course, we also have this context right here. That is providing the user and session context to the application. So we create the context here, and it's supposed to be of type global user context params, which is defined right here. And then we have this use effect, having this function definition right here, which is supposed to fetch users from the LDix users database instead of our Supabase project. At the initial stage, when there is no user signed in or signed up into the application, there will be no data to fetch from this LDix users table on Supabase. But eventually when we actually sign up or sign in into the application, now there will be a session and we'll set user to this user. And of course, if there is an already existing session, we want to set this session to session right here. So this is what we also did in the first part of that video. Okay, so let me close this one, and then now I'm going to try to sign up. So I'm going to use my email, dominic@icloud.com, and then I'm going to provide a password and click on sign up. Now, as soon as we click sign up, we're taken to this authentication page to authenticate the OTP we received inside of our mail. And I'm going to get my mail and put that OTP right here. And of course, if we use the wrong OTP, then we're going to get an error thrown back to us, said token has expired or is invalid. So we need to use the right token. And now let me get the right token there, which is 491759. Okay, and then click on confirm. So now as soon as we click on confirm, we are now seeing this instead right here instead of tabs and then index, which is the home page. So that's as a flow of things. That's what we did in the last video. And it means we also have the user in the users table instead of Supabase project, and we also have the user instead of our LDIX user table. And now let's check out the Supabase project and see what we have there. So if we go to authentication, now this is the user we just signed up, and you can see the email right here. And if we go to table editor and click on LDIX users table, we'll also find a user right here, the same user with the same ID, and this is the email and this is the time we created the user and every other information that we want to get, and every other information will be there as well. Yeah, so this is the flow. Now what we want to do in this video is to be able to send OTP from our custom domain. If you come right here to authentication and go to sign in, sign up, you will notice that there are a lot of auth providers right here, and we've been using the email type of auth provider. Now if we click on email right here, you see that this is the template of the email that we're sending to the user. And if I can bring up my mailbox up, you can see right here, this is the template we have right here. Confirm your sign up on LDIX, use this token to sign up, and then we have the token, right? So this is the same thing we have right here. This is where we're taking the template from. But then this email is being sent using Supabase API. But Supabase prefers that we use our own custom SMTP settings on Supabase to send and receive emails. Also, if you notice, you would see that the email is saying Supabase auth. But when we send emails to our users, to the users of our application, we usually want the mail to say that it's coming from something like LDIX. For example, maybe support@ldix.com or verification@ldix.com or team@ldix.com and things like that, not Supabase auth. So in production, in real world apps, you usually use custom domain to send your email. Also, now that we're still using Supabase API to send out mail, there are limitations. So for example, you can't send a particular number of emails within a given frame of time. I think there is limitation, maybe about 4 emails in 10 seconds or 1 hour or something like that. But if we use our own custom domain to send a mail, then we can send as many as possible. We can send as many emails as possible, and it will be configured to show that this email is coming from support@ldix.com or verification@ldix.com from our own custom domain, right? So let's get down to it. Now, where do we make those SMTP settings in order to connect our custom domain right here instead of Supabase? Well, we'll go to this SMTP settings, and then we can toggle on enable custom SMTP, and then we need to fill in all of these details in order to be able to send emails and receive emails from our custom domain. The first thing we need to do is to get a domain name. So it could be ldix.com or your domain name.com, whatever name you're going to choose. You need to buy out a domain, and we're going to be using any of the relevant domain name registration companies such as SiteGround, Namecheap, GoDaddy, and the rest of them. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using Namecheap. So let's come right here and visit namecheap.com. If you don't have an account, you can create one, and if you already have an account, you can sign in into your account. You can click on here to sign up if you already don't have an account. But for me, I already have an account, so I'm going to sign in, and I'm going to click on account right here and click on dashboard, and it requires me to sign in, so I'm going to sign in into my application. Right here is my Namecheap dashboard, and if you go to domain list, you're going to be able to see all of the domains that you've bought. For me, I just have one domain right here, which is ldix.store. So if you don't have any domain, you can buy one depending on what your domain wants to be and the type of domain you want to buy. For example, you might want to buy your domain.com or your domain.org or your domain.dev or your domain.it and so on and so forth. For me, I already bought this ldix.store for demonstrative purposes. I'm going to be using that. So if you don't have a domain, go ahead and buy that and continue from here. And when you come to this dashboard and you click on domain list, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see your domain right here, and we can do the entire process instead of Namecheap. So what we need to do is click on private email. Sometimes this is a service that you need to buy separately, or sometimes they give you a trial, so you have the gift of opening or creating an email based on your domain. So I'm going to click on manage. Then you can see it says a private email, starter email subscription, and I'm still on the trial version, right? So but what it means is that I can create a mail right here, a private mail, and in order to do that, I can click on create mailbox, and my mailbox can be anything such as support at ldix.store, you can say right here, or verification at ldix.store, or team at ldix.store. So that's going to be our custom email. Now I'm just going to use support, and then it's going to be support at ldix.com, right? And create a password. For me, I'm just going to use a very simple password, and we have 5 GB of mail storage, so that's okay. I'm clicking on save, change it, and now we have a mailbox, which is support at ldix.store. So this is the email address where we'll be receiving our emails and be sending emails from once we connect it to our Supabase project. And after that, we can click on done. So you just have to remember your password and every other thing that you used to create that email. So now we have our email created, and if we go back to private email and click on manage, we should be able to see that we have support at ldix.store, right? And if you're using the trial email, the trial private email on Namecheap like me, you can always remove it from here, remove the one you just registered. For example, I can remove this support at ldix right here and create another one, maybe with another name such as verification. But if you have a very good subscription, you can create as many emails as possible. You can have up to 5 or 10 or 20, as much as Namecheap allows. Now we need to find a way to connect this to our Supabase project. Now when we go to domain list right here and we click on manage, we scroll down, and for the catch all mailbox, we should select this to support at ldix.com, at ldix.store rather, and click on done. All right, that is registered, and I think that is all there is to it. Now where do we find the SMTP settings to connect to our Supabase? Because if you go right here, we need some information. For example, we have to give in the sender details. This is the email address the emails are sent from. So in that case, I'm going to say support at ldix.store, and that is because that is the email address that we just created. Yes, support at ldix.store right here. And for the sender name, I can just provide ldix, and for the hosts, so we need to find the host, which is the host name or IP address of your SMTP server. We're going to find that, and I think the usual port number is 465, so we're going to leave that. And maximum interval between emails sent, we can leave it at 60 seconds. And for the username and SMTP username, we need to find that, and password. So what we need to do is go back right here, and then I found a documentation showing what those information should be. So I'm going to go to my browser right here and paste the link that I got on the internet. So you can see here, it says username should be email address, and password should be password for the email account that we created, right? Remember, we just created this email address, the support at ldix.store. So we should put the username support at ldix.store. And for the password, this would be the password that we used when we created the email on Namecheap. So I'm going to provide the password, and I think we provided everything. And for the host, which is the host name or IP address of our SMTP server, let me see what that should be. It's usually something like SMTP or mail.something, namecheap.com. Let's see. Okay, so right here it's saying incoming and outgoing server's name is mail.private.email.com. So let's copy this one and then paste right there as the host name. Yep, and that's all we need, and we can save and see if things work properly now. Yeah, successfully updated settings, and we should be good to go. So in order to see if this worked properly, we need to go back to authentication and then delete this user so that we can use the same email to sign up again and see what sort of email that we're going to get. So storage, delete the bucket, and for the table editor, we go to the table, delete this table as well, and then we go to SQL editor and drop this handle new user and go to LDIX users query and run this query so that when we create a new user, then things will run smoothly and properly. So now that we have things properly set, let's get back to our VS Code and open up the terminal, and I'm going to stop the server and clear out things because right now we no longer have any user inside of our Supabase project and no user inside of LDIX users table as well. So we need to start the application one more time, npm start, and then press I on the keyboard, reload, so the application reloads and we're sent back to this page. And we're getting this error on the console because at the moment there is no user inside of our LDIX users database because we've not signed up any user, and that's coming from the context that we have right here, global user provider. So the error right here, and we're having the error because there is no user. Oh, let me close this terminal. Yep, and this one as well. So let's sign up with my email, Dominic Ebere, and then with the password and click on sign up. So what we expect is that as soon as we click on sign up, then we'll be taken to the token confirmation page. So let's try that, sign up. And now we've gotten this error message from Supabase saying email rate limit exceeded. That message we just got might be because of the settings we added on Supabase. So we need to increase our email rate limits. So let's go back to the browser, and right here we're within the authentication. So let's look at the sign in, sign up, and then look at email to find out where the limit is. Okay, not here. Okay, now let's go to the SMTP settings to see. We'll go to emails right here and scroll up, go to SMTP settings and look at this place. It says minimum interval between emails being sent. Okay, this is the minimum interval, 60 seconds. So that means we cannot send more than one email or two emails rather if the interval of 60 seconds has not yet elapsed, sort of. So this might be the issue. So we might want to make this just 10 seconds so that we can send as many emails as possible, and after that we can click on save. Okay, settings updated successfully, and then we can also go to rate limits and see and scroll up, and you see rate limit for sending emails. So it says number of emails that can be sent per hour from your project. Number of emails, only 2. So this is just too small, right? So we can even make it 1,000, 10,000, as much as you want. This one is for SMS, and rate limit for token refreshes. Okay, so I don't think this one's will have any problems, and let me click on save. Yes, and rate limit successfully updated. And now that I think about it, let me go to my mailbox and see if we received any emails so far. And yes, you can see now we're receiving emails. Right here, we received confirm your sign up on LDIX, but you can see there is a difference. Before it used to be Supabase off, now it's now support at ldix.store. How awesome is that? So we are receiving this email from our domain and from our custom email, right? This is cool, no longer Supabase. That's what we want our users to be able to see. That is cool. So probably the email limit before right here was 2. So maybe because we received these 2 emails, we couldn't get any other emails sent. I think this is the issue. So now that we fixed it, I think we'll be able to receive one more email to be able to sign up into our application. And let's get back right here and click on sign up. Yes. So we're able to sign up now that we increased the email limit, and we don't need to save password. And what's that OTP? I think we can check it in our mailbox. Yes, we just received this one, and the OTP is 930984. So we're going to put it right there and confirm. And yes, we sign into our application, and this is awesome. And you can see this is very nice. We're receiving this email from LDix instead of Supabase auth. Much more customized, if you ask me. So we don't have anything that has to do with Supabase right here. We just have LDix, and we can even put our logo and everything, design it the way we want. And for us to do that, we can come right here to our Supabase project, and we can go to the emails, and in the email body you can design this the way you want, using image tags, and put all the things you want to put right here for users to see. And that's why you usually get a lot of beautiful emails in your email box. You can do all that design here. Supabase has provided all of these functions to us, and at this point we're sure we're able to send out emails from our custom domain. What about receiving emails? For example, if the user replies to our email, how do we see it? Now we can actually see it if we go back to our Namecheap website right here, and then we can go to private mail, and then we can click on manage, and then we can click right here to open webmail, and we need to sign in, right? So we can sign in with our email right here, support@ldix.store, and then for password I'll provide the password like so, and login. Okay, this is wrong, so it's supposed to be support@ldix.store and login. And yes, we're right within our email. So let me close this one. Okay, we don't need all of this. And right here we have our inbox, draft, sent, and all of that. And let's try to reply to one of the emails that we received. So if we scroll up here and click right here, we can click on reply. So I'm just going to make the title saying LDix subscription. I can say LDix is great, please subscribe to my channel, and send this mail. Now let's see if we're going to get this email inside of our inbox right here, and let me refresh and see, and we don't have the email in our inbox. And the reason for this is that we need to do further settings so that we can receive email that is being sent to our email box. So let's go right here and go to domain list and click on manage. Let's go to advanced DNS, and let's go to mail settings. Now let's click on this private email. This one has been automatically configured for ldix.store. Okay, let's click on email forwarding and click on save changes. Okay, private email, save changes. Okay, and now let's go back to our webmail and refresh, and still we're not getting the email. So let's go back to advanced DNS right here. Let's also go to custom MX and provide host as art, and this one will be mail art ldix.store, and we can leave every other thing as is, or maybe we can have priority as 10, and then we can save changes. Okay, and let's go back to private email, save changes. Yes, and let's go to our mail right here and refresh and see if the email comes in. Now let us try to send that email again. Let's try to reply to that email. So I'm going to open here and click right here, any of the emails, and then try to send a reply again, and the subject is going to be LDix great, subscribe, and I'm going to say thank you, just like this, and it's going to be sent to support@ldix.store. So let me click on the send button and close the email, and then hopefully we're going to receive that email here. Okay, let's refresh one more time, and yes, we received the email right here. It says thank you all, and this was a reply to that confirmation email that was sent to us from support@ldix.store, and it says thank you all. So that means we can use Namecheap as a platform to set up our email and connect it to our Supabase right here, and be able to send as many emails as possible as we want to send to our users. All right, my friends, so that's it for this tutorial. That's it for this video. I hope you really learned a lot from this video, and now you know how to connect your application to Supabase, how to do the SMTP settings, how to come to Namecheap or any other providers or any other domain name providers of your choice, and just set things up In this case, we only used Namecheap, but this is the same process for any other name providers such as SiteGround and so on and so forth. So thank you for being here and see you in the next one.